Buen Camino. That means good way in Spanish. And I am Mary, that one half of Merrily, Mary, and Lee. And we're making this video as a test run for future videos. And we thought we'd include for everyone what we're putting in our pack and what we'll be carrying for the next 60 days. So here we go. First of all, I have an Osprey backpack. It's a 58 liter, which seems like a large backpack, but backpacks are measured by your torso length. So you need to get a backpack that fits your torso. So that's what I came up with in measuring my torso, and this is the backpack. It's pretty lightweight, and you want to try to stay as low in your weight department as possible. This backpack also comes with a bladder. When this bladder holds 1.5 liters of water, which adds a lot of weight. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to carry 1.5 liters, especially when we do the first day of 5 miles straight up a hill into the Pyrenees. I know we'll need water, but I may opt to just carry a bottle of water and refill it along the way. But this is an option, and I have been using this when we've been training. Next, I'm going to talk about my shoes. I've gone through many different styles of shoes to pick. I thought I was going to be happy with Hoka's, and Hoka's are very comfortable, and I was happy with them. But I decided I would try Alta's because Alta's have a really big toe box, and the toe box allows your feet and your toes to stretch out. When you're walking mile after mile after mile, your feet swell, so you want to get at least a half or a whole size bigger than what you would normally wear. And when I got the Altas and started walking with those, I found that my plantar fasciitis, which I've fought with many years, was less painful in the Altas, so I've gone with the Altas. I also need to have a pair of shoes to switch into at night, and so I went with Chacos, which are a sandal which you could hike in if you wanted to. They're built strong enough to hike in. They're also something that I could take a shower in. We're only going to stay in a communal albergue so far, just one night. The rest of the time we have hotels and we'll have our own bathroom. But always be prepared with that. That's my shoes. I have a rain jacket, which is a waterproof rain jacket from REI. I bought it big so that I can layer things under it. And then instead of having a normal fleece, we came across these fleeces that are made by North Face, and it's called a Summit Series, and they're feather light, but they're very warm. So both Lee and I have a rain jacket and a feather light Summit Series fleece with a hood that we can wear under our rain jacket if we get cold. I also have a Altus poncho, which I'm not going to pull it out of here, but it's long, it has a hood, it has arms, and it has a built-in hump so that it covers your backpack. So your backpack, if it pours rain, and it could pour rain later in our walk toward the end of September or into October, and we want everything to stay dry. I have, if it's just misting, I have a backpack cover, and we can put that on easily. This is a mosquito hat. There have been reports of people being bothered by bugs on the trail, and after having gone to Alaska, we really love to have a cover for our face and our head if we're walking in mosquito country. We each have a little tiny sling bag, a nano sling bag. It's just very lightweight. It slings over. It can be used for when you go shopping at night to get groceries for the next day. You can put your stuff in it when you go to the shower, and you can hang it up, and it's weighs less than 1 ounce. I handkerchief to blow your nose, or to put under your hat to hang down on your back if it's sunny. I also found I tend to sweat a lot on my head. If I wet it and put it around my neck, it makes me feel cooler. Free the pee. This thing for any woman hiking is something that you will find essential. I'm 72 years old. I don't squat and hold that squat for as long as I can, or I used to be able to. And this is a little device that allows a woman to stand and pee. So it fits up against you. You spread your legs and you feel like you've got a man's ability to pee in the wild. So this is called Freeing the Pee, and we got it at REI. I've used it a lot, and it is great. I also have a little rag. I forgot to take it off my backpack. It's called Circle Care, but it's also called Piss Off. And it's just a little square of cloth that is treated with antimicrobial fabric on one side and a nice design on the outside. This is for patting yourself off after you go to the bathroom so you don't spoil the environment along the way, and you're not that ugly American or ugly tourist who throws their toilet paper and tissues just down on the ground. That's disgusting, and that is something that will really piss me off if I see it. So I'm not going to be one of those people. I have my piss off rag. Also, sometimes you may have to go number 2. So we've learned that you want to make a cat hole. And having spent 20 years in the Army and going to the field, you have to learn how to dig a big enough cat hole to cover up the traces. So we each are carrying a shovel to take care of our number 2 needs if we need it. Moving right along, I talked a little bit about plantar fasciitis. This is a little massage ball that I'm going to carry in my bag. It's very lightweight. It's kind of like the size of a dryer ball that you might put in your dryer to keep your clothes soft when you're washing. And you can use it to massage your feet at the end of your hike for that day. I'm going to get to my clothes in just a minute. We will be washing our clothes frequently, we don't know every night, but we're bringing some dry laundry sheets, and then we saw these laundry lines through Rick Steve, if you've looked at any travel channels, but it's an elastic laundry line, and you don't need any pegs. You just pull it apart and tuck your sock or whatever in there, and you can hang your clothes out to dry very easily. We each have one of those. Before I leave completely my backpack, I want to show you our shells. The sign of a pilgrim walking on the Camino is a scallop shell, and that came from the ancient times of when people were hiking. They brought back a scallop shell to show that they actually made it to the ocean. And so we ordered these scallop shells, and I found these decals, the cross of St. James, and on one side to show we're pilgrims, and then on the other side to show our Tahoe pride. We have a Tahoe sticker. And for those of you that may not be familiar with the Camino, it is called the Walk of St. James. James and John were 2 of the 4 disciples that Jesus selected and called from the sea to quit being fishermen of fish and fish for men. And James is Big James, the brother of John, and he became a martyr, and the Spaniards really adored him, and he is buried in the cathedral in Santiago, and that is what we're going to eventually get to. Okay, toiletries. You don't need to take a whole lot, but you know, girls do need a couple of things. So I've got a brush and a little comb, not a big comb, a couple of hair ties, some deodorant, Tiger Balm for sore joints and aching feet, and also a little vial of Vaseline, a little can of Vaseline to keep your feet moist when you're walking. I've got some Band-Aids, a razor to keep my legs looking beautiful, and a little needle and thread to put through a blister and leave the thread in to let the blister dry up on its own. So hopefully we don't need to use it, but we're going to be prepared if we have to. We each have soap. We have Dr. Bronner's soap that's a universal soap, and these little bags that are called Matador bags. We got them at REI, and they allow your wet soap to dry in the bag and not become mushy. So I have one for my soap, and I have a bar shampoo and conditioner. I cut them in half for my hair, and so I have a half a bar of shampoo and a half a bar of conditioner to wash my hair. I'm bringing my little lightweight Velcro glove to use for a washcloth. I can wash my face and my body. I'm also bringing a little tiny washcloth that weighs less than an ounce, so that's not going to be much. I have some toiletries, eye cream. I've got to have eye cream in my eye at night because I have dry eyes, eye drops, a little bit of blush, and a little bit of eyebrow pencil. Got to look a little nice. You don't want to look like a hag walking on the Camino. Okay. I have a buff that I ordered, and it has the trail of Camino on it with all of the towns. This is my buff, and if you've ever watched Survivor, you know buffs can be used in all different sorts of ways. You can use it as a headband, you can use it around your neck if it gets cold, you can use it as a rag to wipe your face, and they don't weigh hardly anything. I have a headlight, which if it's warm, we're going to be walking in the morning, really early in the morning, so we're going to be able to see our way if we each have a headlight. Your hands may get cold toward the end of our walk. I know it's going to get cold in the morning, so I have a lightweight pair of gloves, but I also have hiking gloves to use with my trekking poles, so I will be using those. I have a silk sleeping bag liner. We are not taking sleeping bags because we have booked rooms, but you never know, and silk actually repels bugs, so there have been issues with people getting bed bugs on the Camino, but those are people that are staying in the big municipal albergues, which are the hostels, and since we're not staying in those, we're not too worried about it, but you never know. So after I'm done making this video, Lee and I are going to go spray our backpacks with permethrin and get them prepared to repel any bugs. I have a small towel from Sea and Summit. It folds into, well actually this is called a large towel, but it's not that big and they don't weigh very much, but it's good to have your own towel. I'm carrying 3 pairs of socks, actually 4, because these are toe socks, and I figure if it gets cold and I'm going to have to wear my chacos into town at night, I can put my toe socks on with my chacos. So I'm bringing 1 pair of toe socks, 3 pair of Darn Tough socks. We found in our experiments with hiking that the Darn Tough sock is the most comfortable sock. It's a wool sock. It's guaranteed for life. If you get a hole in it and you send it back to Darn Tough, they will replace it free of charge. So we each have 3 pairs of those, which means 2 in the bag and 1 on our feet. I'm taking 2 bras, a black one and a tan one. I'm not a fan of sports bras, never have, but a lot of people do wear sports bras, but they don't work right for me. So my clothing, most of my clothing is merino wool. A couple things are not. But merino wool keeps you smelling fresh. It's warm when you're cold and cool when you're hot. So I have one long sleeve merino wool shirt. I have two short sleeve shirts. And then I have a travel shirt, which is very lightweight, a nice shirt that I can wear into town when we go into town. I have a smart wool pair of black leggings that I can wear. They'll wash out and dry easily. I have one pair of hiking pants. And the piece de resistance that I learned about from somebody that's walking the Camino is a hiking skirt. This is going to be my multifunctional piece of clothing. Many places where you go, at least in years past when I was in Europe, it was inappropriate for women to go into a cathedral not wearing a skirt. And so this will serve my purpose of wearing a skirt. This skirt also, it's made out of the same material as hiking pants. It's very lightweight. It has huge kangaroo pockets. You can put a lot of stuff in the pockets. It's got zippered pockets on the inside. So if you're carrying something that you don't want to fall out of your pocket, it can be in there. This skirt also has the ability to strap up in the center and become gaucho pants. So if you need to have like a capri gaucho pant style while you're walking, you can. And then you can convert those gaucho pants by rolling them up and snapping the sides into shorts. And it could be hot. So with my skirt, I have a skirt, gaucho pants, and shorts all in one piece of clothing. And I think that is just about everything. I have some wipes in case I need them. Our cardiologist said definitely take magnesium. We're taking 90 days worth of medication, which is a lot for two old people who have cardiac issues. And so we've got all our medicines, and that probably is the heaviest thing that we're carrying. But she recommended these hydration sport drink things that you add to water, and they have all the electrolytes you'll need. If you become dehydrated and your electrolytes get out of whack, you could be more prone to having some kind of arrhythmia, and Lee and I both have had AFib, so we don't want that to happen. So we're going to stay well hydrated and well supplied with electrolytes. And I'm carrying a spork, because if we eat something along the road, buy a little snack, yogurt or something, we each have a spork that we're carrying.
Sardines.
And a few little Q-tips. And I think that is everything I'm going to have in my pack. And when I weighed my pack without the water, it was right at 17, 18 pounds, which is pretty good. You're supposed to shoot for 10% of your body weight. So that's kind of right in there. I'm not going to tell you how much I weigh. That number I never released to anyone other than my doctor. But anyway, it's right in there. And hopefully as we walk along and take our medicine, that piece of the weight will get less. So we are dedicating our walk to our family, our grandchildren, letting them know that even when you're in your 70s, you can still do exciting things. Our friends and our family in church, and you'll be with us and you'll be in our prayers every day.